Come on in the room. Oh, my lighting. Oh, no, not better. Come on in the room. I'm trying to sorry, this is later than I normally do it, so my lighting is jacked. Sorry, mi familia. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, wait, it's tonight on the East Coast where I'm at. Y'all, I've been on the West Coast so long, this East Coast time difference is messing me up. I've missed so much stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. It said be here at 8 o'clock. And they're like, well, Nikki, you're on the East Coast. So it's like, what? It's 5 o'clock for us. And I'm like, oh, sorry, going to bed. I got my pink velvet cupcake lotion. I left my other one in LA. Y'all know the one I use, the Aveda. What is it? Hand care or something? Something. I left that one. But how y'all doing? Yes, Modu Pay. I could Norin. Yes, you made it. You made it. I'm so sorry about this lighting. Like YouTube doesn't let me see what I look like before I set this thing up. So what you get is what you get. You know what? Do I want to? Do I have a light? Wait a minute. Let me see if I can use this light. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves. Rhode Island is neither a road or an island. Discuss. 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 How y'all doing? Hey, basically, Brittany, what's up? I don't know why I say your name like that. It's the bees. Basically, Brittany. You just got to say it with aggression. I don't know why. I'm sorry, girl. Come on in the room. Trying to hide my work in the back. You know what? Should I put some? Oh, I am very relaxed, guys. I just had a beautiful spa bath. I put a little solution in my hair. I lotion. So I'm feeling very Ritz-Carlton. Oh, lifestyle, whatever you are. I've been all over this place. I'm loving it so far. So far, so good. I will say this. I was not expecting the heat around this time because my sister was like, when you come down here, make sure you bring like a jacket and some really like warm clothing because it's going to be really cold out here. That wasn't the case. I'm burning up. I got the air on right now. I don't know why it's not working. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, we're going to have to go with this terrible lighting. This is a shame. A sham. It's really a shame because I did a little skin treatment and my skin is glistening, but you can't tell. Oh my God. Where is my other light? I got to find that other light. I can't sit on this screen with this raggedy skin. I'm glowing. I did a treatment. I'm glowing. Child, my skin is looking glorious. Where is that damn light? It's a shame. Oh, yeah. I can't. Guys, I had a really cute light. I can't find it. Where's my... I don't know where nothing is. I don't know where nothing is. Anyway, okay. Y'all just have to take my word for it. But I'm glowing. Oh, my goodness. I'm glowing and you can't even tell. Oh my goodness, I look like a man has put me through hell, but that's not the case. Anyway, how y'all doing? Thank you, Greta. How y'all doing? I look fly. Maybe it's the white. My teacher, my acting teacher always said that, you know, I thought she was being racist, but I realized she's telling the truth. Dark skin, like white on dark skin, sometimes the shadow bounces on the skin and it makes it, you know, the skin look a little rough. So, sorry, Miss Metley, you were not being racist. Thank you, Lifestyle with Abby. Ryan Rounds, yes, what's up? What's up? We are talking 90 Day. Is my ear on? Fiance. 90 Day. Fiance. You can tell I'm like freshly bathed because I'm hyped. I am hyped. Normally, a spa shower gets me really excited. Not like that, girl, I wish. But a nice little warm bath, that puts me in a like relaxing mood. But a fresh shower, I just feel like I can do anything. I can do anything. How are you guys feeling about this season thus far? I I felt like it's been gone too long for me. I need to like get back into these characters on this show, but it felt like I don't know, I wasn't rushing to watch this show. You know what I mean? And when I did, I was like, okay. And I think maybe this is because this is the episode coming back from the hiatus. They don't want to give us everything in one, but I just feel like, I don't know. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't excited. I just, wanted to keep up with the show. That's why I watched it, but I wasn't excited. How y'all feel? Yes, Keisha in the UK has finally made a live. Abby, Lifestyle with Abby, did you care about the season before the hiatus? Let a girl know. El Boogie, you know what? Everybody's always telling me this about the notifications with YouTube. They just take a long time. They really, really do. I remember when I was doing a live and on my computer and I had my phone, it didn't notify me about the live until I was like 5 minutes into the live on my phone. I was just like, how you not gonna notify me? It's my live. Anyway. Yes, Ryan, there's definitely a disconnect after a hiatus. You're absolutely right. Summit was definitely redeemed. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, the hiatus just, I don't know. It made it very, a lot longer than it needed to be. Yes, I had a whole spa treatment. I needed it. I needed it because you know what? I like, I'm an ATL if y'all don't know. I love it, right? Um, I've been living in LA for like almost like over a decade. So I'm used to a certain kind of weather. The humidity out here, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. It is very humid and the skeeters, that's what they call them out here, the skeeters. The skeeters are tearing me up. Like I have not been bit by this many mosquitoes before in my entire life. Other than that, I love it. Other than that, thank you, Leanne. I did a treatment and I wanted you guys to see it, but it's not working. My lighting is trash. And YouTube never lets me know what I look like until I just go live. So I'm figuring it out as I go. Oh, thank you, not your typical teacher. Is it Naeka? Naeka Roberts. Are we related? Because it's not a lot of Roberts. Yeah, Naeka says she's kind of over the cast. Yeah, Pillow Talk sometimes is a bit more interesting. Right. Thank you, Ryan. We've been gone for a very long time, and then out of nowhere, like Ariel is having a baby. How long have we been gone? She was a couple of months when her mother left, right? She was like 4 or 5 months when her mother left. How long have we been on hiatus? That's another thing. Thank you, Irene. I don't think that the other way needs to be this long. I really, really don't. I feel like within an hour we get everything. I think 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After, I think that show should probably be an hour and a half or so because they have so many couples on there that we know, right? So we kind of want to see how they progress, like what happens with their relationship, because we've been on a journey with them for a few seasons. So when we're watching Happily Ever After, we now want to see the continuation of their relationship. With 90 Day Fiance the other way, we're not meeting a lot of people. It's not a lot of characters, right? So I just think that we can tap into everybody's story within an hour. This show doesn't need to be 2 hours. Darcy is engaged? Why am I not surprised? Somebody, Nyla said she engages in foolery. That's for sure. Oh, yeah, the couples aren't that interesting. I'm glad you guys agree with me because I was just like, when I was watching, I was like, huh, this didn't need to be this long. I'm not that interested anymore. Y'all took too long. Tiffany, that's what I want to see. When Ariel snatches her baby back from the hospital, that's what I want to see. That's what I want. But you know what? I'm actually not concerned, but I wondered about that moment in the trailer when Ariella took her baby back from, I guess, the doctor who was going to perform a circumcision, and she was just like, "No, give me my baby. I don't want this to happen." And I'm like, "Isn't Ariella Jewish? I know they circumcised because I used to set up what bris. I used to set that up when I used to work for rabbis back in the day. Honey, I have lived a life. But I used to set those up, and that was like a huge thing. I remember one of the guys that because I was an introduction to Judaism registrar, and I basically set up, I don't want to say set up conversions, but people who wanted to convert to Judaism, they would come to me. I would set up their sessions, their meetings with rabbis. I would set up their classes and all, things like that. And I would also set up, their child circumcisions and things like that. I remember one time I had a guy. Normally I had women coming in who was converting to Judaism. And one time I had a guy and we went over everything that he needed to do. When I told that dude he needed to get circumcised, he almost passed out in my office, and I was just like, "Do you love her?" Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't really say anything, but like, he's having a breakdown, and I'm like, did you two not talk about this? Like, I can't do anything. Like, this is a sect of Judaism that you want to be a part of. So this is what you have to do to be a part. So I was really shocked by that when I saw Ariella take her baby back and say that she didn't want her child circumcised. Now, either she wants her child circumcised and she doesn't want him circumcised in this way. Maybe she wants to go home and perform a bris and have that happen with her family and her rabbi. Maybe that's the case. Then it'll make more sense to me. But I was just like, you don't want him circumcised? But now that I'm talking it out, I think she does want to have a ceremony for her child. That's what I think. Yeah, Nyla, I have worked so many jobs. Girl, so many jobs. I used to work at Guess. That was back in my retail days. I literally got fired from that job for not being sexy enough. They said I was too difficult because I wouldn't participate in some of the sexy. This is the thing. Unless you work at Guess, you don't know that they encourage you to flirt with customers. I remember one time I was selling this married man a pair of jeans for his wife, and my supervisor came over to me and she was just like, Nicole, and I was just like, yes, because I ain't even like her. And she was just like, I noticed that your shirt is buttoned up all the way. Excuse me? She was like, you have beautiful breasts. Don't you want to show them off? And maybe that will help the customer buy more. Girl, I lasted a week at that job. I think I quit after Sexy Saturday because they have this thing called Sexy Saturdays, and I wasn't sexy enough. So I scored low. And they were scolding me in the team meeting. It was just like, Nicole's only at a 10% with her sexy. That job was a mess, a hot mess. I was a kid. I didn't know that was sexual harassment. Yeah, Cam and Cam and Castilla. I'm from Philly. Cam and Castilla Monroe, absolutely. Just have your child in the U.S. Yeah, Thado, I was not sexy enough. I thought she had a boy. I thought she had a boy, Tiffany. Oh, thank you, Nisha, for stopping by, even though you haven't watched this season. I love when you guys just stop by to hang out and, listen and have a kiki, even if you haven't watched the show. I totally appreciate you guys being here. What's up, Jay? Hey. All right, guys, I'm about to get started. Make sure when you come in the room that you also like, guys. I always make sure to tell you that. Also, My moderators, I am going to reach out with you. It's just, I totally underestimated the time difference and how busy I would be out here, which is why my lives are all over the place. I literally, when I can get some time, I just put it up. I try to give you guys a half an hour to 40 minutes to get here. Because I just really don't know my schedule because I'm working off of other people's schedule, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm also celebrating my mama's birthday. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So I try to like keep up as much as I can, but I just really underestimated the time difference. Like my whole life is on the West Coast, like work life. And I'm up really, really late doing work because people that I'm collaborating with and working with are on a different time schedule. So I totally did not plan for that. So I'm up until like 3 or 4 sometimes, and I'm sleeping half of the day, and then I'm running around to do other things. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I still haven't looked at my home yet, or my future home, potential home. It's a lot. Oh, yeah, Greta. That's probably why. I get that. If that's why Ariella took her baby away because she wants her baby to have a ceremony, totally understand that. Such a beautiful ceremony, too. I mean, considering what's happening, you know what I mean? If you don't understand that, you'd be like, oh my gosh. But, if you know what's going on, it's beautiful. Oh, yeah. Maybe, yeah, she also could be waiting for her parents to get there. Hey, Debbie. You know what, Debbie? I have been messing around with StreamYard. I'm not comfortable with it yet, so I haven't used it. But I am. I've definitely been looking at StreamYard and playing with it and see if it's something that I can maintain. Because YouTube, y'all have way too much competition to be this raggedy. It's too raggedy. Yes, Chris, I'm very refreshed. Salvi. Salvi just said, I'm not even surprised to learn that Melisa, or whatever her name is, cheated on Tim. Salvi, did she? Let's get into this review. For people who are just watching for the review, buckle up, baby. It starts now. Let's talk about Brittany and Yazan. What's going on with this couple? They have to be having sex or something. Like something has to be keeping these two here because I get infatuation from them. I don't get love. I think that I'm not saying that if you're different, your relationship cannot work out. That's totally false, right? But I feel like these two have way too many conflicts, for this relationship to be healthy. I don't know what's keeping them there. And I remember like 2 weeks ago, I watched an interview with Brittany on YouTube. And she was talking about how when she was watching the show back, she was really pissed off at Yazan because he did not tell her everything that he was telling his parents. So she was like, he told me that Jordan is very progressive. It's not what I think, even though it's an Islamic nation. I can still, live there and, have my own beliefs. I don't have to be covered up. I don't have to convert to Islam. His parents are okay with it. And then she was like, when we got to Jordan, everything changed. And she was like, I was watching the show and I was realizing that he was telling his parents different things than what he was telling me. So he would leave me after telling me that everything is okay and then go to his parents and say, Brittany will convert to Islam within, 4 days. And she was just like, that's not the case. That's not true. And she feels really betrayed and lied to by Yazan. And the way she was talking on that interview, I don't think they're together today because she was really pissed off about what Yazan has said to his parents concerning her. Brittany's mama. From her wig alone, baby, that is not a black mom that you want to get into it with. Now, we know that Yazan's mama is tough. We know that she can scrap with the best of them. We know that she will match your mannerisms. But Brittany's mama, I wouldn't mess with her. I saw that wig, and then I saw them knockoff Ugg boots that she was wearing. I was just like, oh, she's a fighter. This woman fights. I wouldn't get into it with her, Yazan's mama. I know you a tough chick. You not tough like Brittany's mama. Walk away. Walk away. I do, however, like the fact that Brittany's mom also called her out on her stuff as well. Of course, she's a mama, she's going to protect her daughter, but she was saying to Brittany, well, you have to tell him that you're married. Like, you can't keep on lying to him and lying to his parents. She's not like Jihoon's mom. She doesn't coddle her foolishness. She does stand up for her daughter and protect her daughter, but she also calls her out on her mess. And I really, really like that. Even still, I wouldn't tussle with that woman. I just wouldn't do it. Especially when she said in her when she was in her confessional and she was talking to the producers, she was just like, what did she say? Because I'm trying to get her accent. Okay. Hold on. Gita. Oh, okay. I think I got the accent. Because if Yazan's parents don't set my daughter the way she is, then that's not going to happen. They just not going to get married. And that's what's up. You don't want to rock with her. You don't want to rock with her. I said sept. She used sept. Yeah, she's a fighter. She is a fighter. Yazan's mama, you don't want this work. So Brittany, do you guys think that this was fake? We'll talk about this after the review. But I'm like, how are you leaving Jordan to go to America to have your whole wedding court meeting, divorce court meeting, and all of that stuff, and then you get there and you find out that the papers weren't even filed? Something didn't seem right to me about that, because I'm like, don't you get a receipt? Don't you get something in the mail? You just went to the courtroom and sat around and waited for what, a year or so, and then was just like, oh, let me check up on my divorce and see if it actually went through. Either you're just really like lazy and not on top of stuff, or the courtrooms, or the processor or whatever, they're just a mess. Now, I will say, I have been in court, not over a divorce, but a couple parking tickets. I've lived a life, and I will say that the processing office or whatever, it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess. It is the devil's waiting room. Okay, I will give Brittany that. However, I feel like there was something that she didn't do as well. The processor's office is a mess. We already know the clerks, whatever it's called, clerks or whatever, they're a mess. They got an attitude. They don't want to help you. Your paperwork is never right. They mix up stuff. They mix up names, and they don't care whose life they ruined. I will give Brittany that. But something tells me that she didn't do the work that she was supposed to do. I just don't feel like it's just on the clerk's office. They're easy to blame because they're horrible, but I still feel like that Brittany did not do everything that she was supposed to do. I think she just wanted to get out of Jordan, and I think she used her divorce as an excuse to get to the producers to actually get back to America, because this relationship is not turning out the way that she thought it would, go when she discussed everything with Yazan. That's what I'm thinking. I also think that she came back to probably get some reinforcements. I wouldn't be surprised if Brittany goes back to Jordan with her mama. Now that it's going to be some good TV. I promise you. Kenneth and Armando, this is my favorite couple. I did not know that Kenneth was also moving to Mexico because Armando did not want to take his daughter away from his ex-wife's family, because you all know that his ex-wife or whatever passed away, and that's why Kenneth moved to Jordan, because Kenneth moved to Mexico because, the girl is very young and he doesn't want to take her away from her family. And I thought that was really beautiful. This couple, I love them because I feel like this is real. Brittany and Yazan, they give me, two young people just trying to get, famous off of having a crush. I feel like they're trying to build some kind of social media following. I don't really get that this is the real deal. Armando and Kenneth, this seems so real to me. There is never a time when I watch this show and I'm watching their scenes that I'm not crying. When Armando's family was breaking down because he got engaged and they were not breaking down in the right way, I was just like, there's so much pain. There's a lot of ignorance, but there's so much pain. I I want this couple to win. I'm rooting for them. I am rooting for them. This is what I want to say, right? I feel like Armando, I think Armando is like this because he's freshly out again and like staying out of the closet. Because remember in his story, he said that he came out of the closet and his family put him back in. Now he's like out but he's like tiptoeing out of the closet. You know what I mean? Not trying to, make any waves with, this announcement. So he's not really announcing anything. He's just living his life the way that he wants to live his life. However, I think that he's really oblivious about whether or not his family really know his lifestyle, not lifestyle, but who he is and who Kenneth is that he's bringing to his home. Because he was just like, I'm not sure if I want to, tell my parents and tell my family who Kenneth is. I'll just say that, I'm bringing home, I'm bringing a friend on a road trip or whatever. And I'm just like, Armando, your family is not in any way going to think that Kenneth is a roommate. Kenneth is out, baby, and he ain't letting nobody put him in no closet. Kenneth is gay. There is no way that you're bringing a dude like that home and you're going to tell us, oh, this is my friend. He just came down here to go on a road trip with me. Oh, this is my roommate. Get the hell out of here. Get that. Even if you don't say it, everybody in your family gonna know who Kenneth is. No way are you two just friends. Get out of here. I was like, do you really think that you're just gonna pass it off that this is some kind of friend? I'm glad that he finally like told his family when he got there, but I was just like, you were really gonna try to just say that this is a roommate? Boy, oblivious. First of all, let's talk real here. Your family always knew. They didn't want to admit it because for some reason, especially like deep Christian families, they think that especially dealing with somebody who is gay in their family, they think that if they don't say it, then it doesn't manifest. Like if we don't talk about you being gay, you won't be gay. But the minute we give it sound, the minute we talk about it and we call it out, the minute that happens, all of a sudden we've labeled you and you will become this person. No, I think the homosexuality was there way before. I think it was there in the beginning. That's just me. I'm not sure, but that happens a lot in like Christian families, like deeply religious families. They think if they don't talk about it, it won't that their family member won't be gay, or they, won't act out on their feelings towards the same sex. And I'm like, that never works. I have, no. The ghost of Sojourner Truth told me in a dream last night that she has a family member that is gay. Gay. But in her family, nobody addresses it. Everybody just acts like, this person is not gay. They just don't talk about it. They don't acknowledge it. When this person showed up to Thanksgiving dinner a few years ago, this is what Sojourner said. In a see-through sequins bedazzled shirt, pleather pants, and iridescent combat boots. Nobody said anything. We just passed the gravy and went on about our day. Like this family will not recognize this person's life, right? Who this person is. And not oddly enough, if you know who Sojourner is, you know that this person loves Sojourner, because not like she accepts it, right? Because who are you to say I accept somebody? Sojourner loves this person for who they are, and they do not allow them to be somebody else with them. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to change your voice with Sojourner. You don't have to walk a certain way with Sojourner. Sojourner knows who you are. But I just said all that to say there are families like that where it's just like, if we don't talk about it, it doesn't happen. It does, even if you don't talk about it. Even if you don't. That's why houses were created because these gay people are finding families outside of their own families because they're being rejected. Just because you unaccept it doesn't mean that they won't live their life. And that's definitely what's happening with Kenneth and Armando, and especially with Armando with his family, because when they finally get there, I was going to skip over this in my notes because this was getting a little serious, but real quick, let's talk about Kenneth's Spanish. This is the thing, and I say this all the time. If you are going to be with somebody of a different culture, the least you could do is learn how to communicate with them, especially if they speak a different language than yours. I love Kenneth. That is my boo. I am highly disappointed that he would move to Mexico, get engaged to a Mexican man, help raise a Mexican child, and does not know any Spanish. I think it's so ignorant because you are now relying on your partner to help you communicate in this land that you now live. You're now relying on the locals to help you get by and communicate. You're also relying on this little girl to figure out your language for you so that you could translate to her. I think it's really ignorant and irresponsible. But I love them. I love them, but I don't like that part because it's for me, it's so ignorant. It's so ignorant. So anyway, Armando is trying to teach him just, how to communicate in Spanish when he gets there. And as soon as Kenneth gets there, he goes, "Hola, mucho gusto," or gusto, whatever. I was like, Kenneth, just stop. Don't talk. Do not talk, because that sad attempt, Armando thought it was cute. I didn't think it was cute because I'm just like, dude, you're coming into this man's life and you don't know how to communicate with the people who you want approval from, because this is who you want to marry. Like, even though this family does not accept your relationship, you're still marrying into it. And from the way Armando is acting, his family, although they reject all of who he is, they're still very important to him, because he would not let Kenny drag anybody in his family. Even when Kenneth was protecting him, he was still like, no, but that's my mom. No, that's my family. Like, still very sensitive. And I think it's because he's newly out and he's still holding on to some of, the straight presenting machismo and ignorance and, protection, where I think a lot of LGBT people, when they first come out, LGBTQ people, when they first come out, they protect a lot of people who oppress and abuse them, because that's their family. You know what I mean? I'm not going to cut my father off, even though he will not talk to me because I'm gay. I'll let my aunt make these comments about me and joke about my sexuality because that's my aunt. I think when they're out more and, they've lived in their truth a bit longer, then they start to be like, oh no, I'm not doing this. You're not talking to me. Like, if you don't know how to respect me, you can't be in my life. So I think it's because he's newly out for real, and living his life in his truth. I think he's very sensitive right now concerning his family. Even though his fiance is protecting him and writing for him, he's rejecting that because he's still in this kind of toxic relationship with his family. That's what I think. Armando's dad. What can you say? It's sad. It's just a really sad situation because he knows who Kenneth is, right? He could barely look at Kenneth. And Kenneth said it. Kenneth was like, he looked through me. This was just a sad scene. Just a really sad scene. He didn't want to come out. And it's always the mom. It's always the mom. She makes her husband come out to, meet Kenneth, and the dad doesn't want to do it. You can see it in his face. As soon as he, came out, he said hi, and then he was just like, all right, got to get on the road now. Like, as soon as his son got there, he was just like, it's time for you to go. Not knowing that they needed to stay there. Thank God the mom was just like, you can stay. But, she's still going through her own things. And I understand, right? I understand, even though I don't agree, I understand. Because I get it. I understand. I just think it's very ignorant that the family is having like meltdowns and crying. Like, the aunt was inconsolable. Like, they were holding her up. She's, he showed me the ring. He's gay, not dead. Like, what? it was just a lot. The fact that the whole family is holding each other's arms and like crying because Armando is in love and he's in love with the man. It just, I don't know. I was like, is anybody going to like, is anybody on this in this family going to ride for him? Not even his sister. And I'm not saying that they were hating on him. I'm not saying that, you know, they were being extremely negative, because I think that this family loves him enough that whoever he is, they will accept him. But the theatrics for me, I was like, this is a lot. This is a lot. He stands up to show you that he is happy and he is engaged. Y'all all start breaking down, crying like you're at his funeral. It was so awkward for Kenneth and Armando. Kenneth was just like, well, he asked me to marry him, and I said yes. And everybody was like, like, what? It was so extra. It was so extra. I was just like, guys, I understand, right? I'm Christian. You know, I get it. But the theatrics from the whole family, young and old. I was expecting, you know, the aunties to act out. But the the cousins, the sister, I'm like, are y'all serious? Y'all freaking millennials. Y'all don't know gay people, out gay people. This ain't the damn 60s. It was too much. It was too many theatrics. And then the mom, the only one who wasn't crying. And I thought the reason why she wasn't crying is because she fully supports her son. So I was thinking that she was taking the stance of like, this is what my baby wants. I'm going to support him. I'm not going to sit here and cry and make him feel bad. No, just like a mom, she's mad because Armando told his family that he was engaged. She was just like, you know what? I would have wanted him to tell me first. That's why she's mad. Moms. She overlooked everything else and was just like, he didn't tell me first. He gonna tell me that he's engaged in front of my sisters like I'm not his mama? Moms all across the world are the same thing. That entire moment, she did not care because Armando told her that he was engaged in front of her sister. So you know her and the sister got some beef, right? So she's just like, not only are you coming here telling me that you're gay in front of everybody, you also let me know that you engaged in front of my sister, that heifer who ain't liked me since we was kids. That's where she's at. So she couldn't even digest what just happened. She's just pissed that Armando told everybody in front of her sister that he's engaged. Moms, they won't ever change. That this is who that get ready, single ladies who want to have children. This is who you will be. Even if you say you will become a mom and you will be petty. It just happens. You will be unapologetically petty. It just happens. It just happens. Don't let your kid tell anybody else anything about them. My mom just had a whole blow up this morning because one of my sisters told somebody else about a huge life event before they told her. Oh, baby. Oh, the theatrics. I'm your mother. How dare you tell her before me? It was so dramatic. But that's my future. That's my future. I just know it's going to happen. And I'm ready. I'm ready I'll just embrace it. I'll embrace it. Hopefully my kids call me on it, but I'll embrace it. I'm going to be a mom and I'm going to be petty. It's okay. It's okay. Oh God, I got an audition. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I'm like, I'm working. No, you know what? Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus, for the audition. I appreciate every audition, no matter if they don't pay what I want them to pay. But thank you, God. We're not complaining. What else did I want to say about Kenneth and Armando? Kenneth and Armando, was the area that they were in not safe? That they can like drive late at night and go somewhere else? Because what after all of that, why did y'all ask to stay there? Poor Kenneth. Kenneth was like, well, I don't feel comfortable staying here, but if Armando wants to stay here, I wouldn't stay there either. I totally felt Kenneth being extremely uncomfortable. Your partner's father looked through you, never made eye contact with you, acted like you did not exist. Then your partner tells his family that you proposed to him, and everybody breaks down. How was that man supposed to feel comfortable staying there? Could they not travel to somewhere else? I would have told production, in this scene, I'm going to say that I'm going to stay here, but when you yell cut, I'm going back to wherever y'all staying. I'm going back to your hotel. I'm not staying here. I don't know if these people are going to kill me. He has every right to feel that way. He was not welcomed at all. And then they were acting like when Armando and Kenneth leave and take Armando's daughter, that it was the end of the world. This is the thing. They said that they were upset and crying because she's been with them since she was a baby and they raised her and they love her and they don't want to be away from her. She's not going to America. She's staying in Mexico. I think they don't want that girl to be raised by two men. Two men who are out proud and in love. That's what I think. Because all of those, it's just that this family was so dramatic. We don't want to leave. We've raised her. They were insane. It was too much. And listen, I felt for the sister. I felt for the family in the beginning, right? I get it. I get, like, it's a horrible thing to get, but as a Christian, I get it. I've seen it. I understand. I've been there myself. I get it. Not that it's right, but I get it. Now, at this point, y'all got to get it together. Y'all have to come to grips with the fact that Armando is gay. He's so gay, he's marrying a man, okay? You have to get it together. The dramatics, the theatrics, extra. Way to make it about you. That's another thing. And I'm going to move on from this couple. But this family is making this whole situation about them. Nobody has checked in with Armando to see if he was okay. Everybody's just like, this is what you're doing to me. This is how I feel. This is what you did to me. This is what you did to your father. This is how you're making me feel. Nope, nobody up to now has checked in on him and asked him how he feels. Unpack that, Armando's Mexican family. Let's move on. I said I was going to move on, but I do want to mention this. I think that Kenneth and Armando are the real deal. I love them. I think they're going to have two really, really big issues. One that's not, I don't think it's as big, but it's an issue, is the fact that Kenneth is just really lazy with learning Spanish, right? I think right now Armando will deal with it. At some point he will get frustrated, especially when he needs help with his daughter, and Kenneth can't really, help out the way he would if they were in America, right? Because he doesn't speak the language, he can't communicate. He's just another child for Armando to raise. I also think another thing that's going to be an issue with them is the fact that Armando is newly out and Kenneth has always been out. Kenneth was born, I'm out. He came out with the gay flag. Like, this is who he is. He ain't never been in no closet. And I think they're going to have a really hard time with their journey because Armando, not even in age, Armando is just not at the same place that Kenneth is with his identity. So I think that's going to be a really big issue. I think right now, Kenneth is taking a lot of, Armando's unwillingness to come, to compromise with him. I think he's taking it a lot because he really does love him, and Armando is newly out. I think he's respecting that. But I do think at some point he is really going to get fed up with living like this semi-closeted life with Armando. So Armando, you're going to have to come all the way out. You really, really are. If not, you and Kenneth probably won't make it. I hope I'm wrong. Because I love this couple and I think that they are the real deal. Ariella and Binion. How long has Ariella been in, is it Binion or Big? I do this every time. Because when I say his name, I feel like I'm saying it wrong. Ariella and B. How long has Ariella been in Ethiopia? Because so far, you guys have sent me stuff. So far, what I've seen from Ariella is that she's been in 2 Ethiopian rapper music videos. And she's also been there long enough to meet and possibly date. I don't know if it was a jump off or if she really dated Binion, but she was there long enough to like be with this man and get pregnant. So I'm just like, Ariella, I really hope all of this did not happen in a matter of weeks. I really hope. I won't judge you, but girl, I really hope you was not in Ethiopia just hoeing, and you got caught by Binion. I think, girl, because I'm just like, you have done a lot in Ethiopia, but the timeline is like messed up for me, right? Because you were in these two music videos. Like, she a video vixen in Ethiopia, but you were saying that you were doing a travel trip. So how long were you traveling or just visiting Ethiopia before you got pregnant? So you had to be there long enough to do two music videos and get pregnant. Listen, this all could have happened in a week, but I'm trying to give this girl credit and say that maybe this has happened in the span of 3 months, 6 months. Ariella, you was hoeing in Ethiopia. You were hoeing in Ethiopia. Ain't nobody judging. Ain't nobody judging, but we got to call it what it is. Because somebody ain't doing the math right. The timeline is not adding up, mama. I don't know what you told your mama, but you can't stick a can of oil. Something ain't up. This timeline is messy. Ariella, how long have you been there? Child, you better live your best life. Listen, not all of us can do a whole trip. You know what I mean? A successful whole trip. Not everybody can do that. So for the people who can't, I like to live vicariously, you know, through the people who can do the whole trips. Listen, I want all the details. I used to, not me. Harriet Tubman used to know a chick who had whole trips all over Europe. Baby, I used to be listening to them stories like, what? Child, she had a stint in Ireland. Baby, she was banging some beautiful men too. I was like, oh, girl, what? let me stop. But that's what Harriet Tubman told me. But yeah, that's the one who told Harriet Tubman to tell me that Italy was the place to go. Cause girl, listen, she left no penis unturned in Italy, baby. Anyway, who got a whole trip? Let's talk. Anyway. So this is the episode where Ariella and Binion moved into their new apartment. Well, at least it's not Skid Row. You know what I mean? It's not the first apartment. It's you know, it's an apartment. God bless them. God bless them. It's also concerning the apartment and just Ariella's decisions. Ariella, you got a baby on the way by a man that, let's be real, you barely know. You know what I mean? Not only that, he can't support you in the baby. Like, he's a grown man with 2 kids still pursuing his passion. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm a creative, right? But when you got kids, you got to start rethinking some things. And Binion or B keeps on talking about, oh, well, I'm gonna do choreography for money. I'm gonna dance and do this for money. So far, baby, that's not bringing in no money. So you need to figure something out. You can still pursue your passion and work at Ethiopia's Target. You know what I mean? Like, you can do something like that. He keeps on trying to pursue these creative jobs when he has a child on the way. Now, we know he's not paying child support in America. We know that lady is taking care of that baby all by herself over here in the US, right? But you got a baby on the way in Ethiopia. We got to rethink this pursuing your passion, because I need a car to look for a creative job, to look for a choreography job. Well, why do you need a car to look for a job? What like, I just think that Ariella is not really thinking. I don't think that she's a, like I said before, she is a fly by the seat of her pants kind of woman. Beautiful, right? I love that. I love that she can just go out there and do whatever she wants and just live, you know, a carefree life. But now you're a parent, right? So there's a child that you have to be responsible for. You can't also be responsible for the child's father. It's not going to work, especially with you being an American and wanting a certain way of life. It's not going to work. You guys are going to continue to have conflict because you still have this man that desires to be a starving artist over being a providing father. So you gotta start making better decisions. With this, I hate to put it on the woman, right? But at the end of the day, Ariella, society is going to make you responsible for that baby. They are not going to make Binion responsible for that child like you are going to have to be responsible for your child. So you just have to make better decisions. And again, I never want to see a couple break up, but this man is not going to get a job. Choreography is not going to pay your bills. He wants you to give $30,000 because what? Let's talk about that. Ethiopia. Why are y'all paying twice in taxes? Double the taxes. I get that you're landlocked because I just learned that. I was like, landlocked? What the hell does that mean? And I looked it up. Okay, I get it. I understand why, the cars are a bit expensive, but the cars are expensive because the land is landlocked, and then you got to pay double taxes. What the hell is going on? That sounds like taking that you guys are being taken advantage of. And I know what I'm talking about because I'm American. Baby, I know what taking advantage of means, okay? So something was a little up with that. I was just like, you got to pay double the taxes? That 1998 Toyota Tercel is $30,000 used? Oh, baby. Hell no. Hell no. And when Binion was sitting there trying to convince her to buy it, I was just like, Ariella, you too young to be a sugar mama. Like, I think you need about, 15 to 20 more years before you're sugar mama age, right? You're too young to be a sugar mama. This is the first time that I could really see Binion scamming her. Because I was like, what you need a car for? You don't have a job. You get the job and then you're like, oh, baby, I got to get a car so that I could go back and forth to the job. You can't find no job that you can walk to, no job that you can be on foot for. Like, what? Why do you have to have this car when you have no job? I need the car so I can look for a job. He sounds like a scammer, honey. You're getting scammed. You're getting scammed because you are giving me young woman that works at Foot Locker, whose boyfriend drops her off for work, takes her car, cheats on her, smokes blunts all up and down her home, lays on her couch playing video games, picks her up late, and then gets an attitude with her when she ain't got no gas money. This is what this is giving me. This is what this is giving me. No, ma'am. You got to get out of this. This ain't it, Ariella. This ain't it. Is it Ethiopian peen that good, girl? Is it? Don't tell me. I don't want to know because I don't want to take a trip there and get caught up. And next thing you know, I'm giving my man $50,000 to buy a car because we living in a landlocked area. I don't want to be you. I don't want to be you. But is it? Because you're making some dumb moves over there, dude. Let them know in the comment section. Don't let me know. American men are enough of a headache. You're not gonna have me going internationally crazy. The devil is a liar. Anyway, is that another auditions? Blessings on blessings. Hallelujah. We're going to receive them because the blessings come in. The blessings come in. We're going to receive them. Oh gosh. Wait. Oh yeah, we talked about landlocked. You know what? Sometimes when I read my notes, I am so shady. I never knew that I was this person because I'll just say it. In my notes, I wrote, come hell or high water, Ariella will never get rid of that Cleopatra eyeliner. Baby! Ariella, I'm so sorry, girl. But that Cleopatra eyeliner, baby, you don't let that go. Sun up to sundown, she got that eyeliner on, and she makes sure to get that little curve. I said, come through, Cleopatra. She will not let that go. I think she's even giving birth in Cleopatra eyeliner. That is her thing. I bet you that she started doing that when she was like 14 years old, and she was just like, this is my look. This is my look. I I am Ariella, the Cleopatra of America. That is her thing, baby. She will not let that go. Oh, can we talk about the C-section? Listen, I would break down too. When they go to, I think they were having an ultrasound, and then the doctor comes back and says, well, you have to have the baby today. I cried with Ariella. I cried with her. I was just like, yeah, girl, I would have a breakdown because not only do you have to have the baby today, you got to get a C-section. Binging ain't worth it. Binging ain't worth it. I'm sorry, sis. Oh, wait a minute. We got a super chat. Before we get to the super chat again, Binging ain't worth all this. He is not worth, especially at no 5'3". Girl, you could do better. Thank you, Donna Anderson, for the super chat. Yes. Thank you, sis. I totally appreciate it. Again, Binging ain't worth it. I could see if he had like some. Can we just be real, ladies? I could see if he had some money. Say whatever you want. A wealthy man, a man that can provide, it's attractive. It is what it is, right? It's just who we are. It is what it is. But I just can't believe this girl is going through this with a man that ain't got no money in another country. You can do that here, girl. Not me. Not me. I feel bad for her. I really, really do. But it seems like everything works out well. So, all the crying and everything, I get it. But obviously she didn't need to feel so distraught because it seems like she had a really healthy C-section, especially because all of the strength she had to snatch her baby away from that doctor in the trailer. I was like, oh, she is serious. I think now for Ariella, now that the baby is here, it's like a reality for her now, because when the baby's just in your stomach, right? But when the baby is here and the baby is crying and the baby needs nurturing and, the baby becomes expensive. I think probably all of that is like weighing on her, and she like kicked into mommy mode. And I think that's where she's at. And I think that's where all of that comes from, where she's just like, I'm protecting my child. I'm giving my child the best. I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't stay in Ethiopia. I would really be surprised if she's still there. If she is, Benyon got that hammer. That's the only way. That's the only thing that would make sense, guys. That is the only thing that would make sense. Anyway, because if it was me, hammer or not, I would be home with my mom crying. I made a mistake. I thought I loved him, mama. I shouldn't have had sex with him because mommy, it was good. Oh my God. Thank you so much for helping me with the baby. Go home to your mama, who knows what she's doing. Ain't no shame in the game. Ain't nobody who's worth anything gonna judge you. Go home. I will go with my baby. Let Binion see the baby on Zoom. Girl, wouldn't be me. Anyway, Jenny and Summit. Summit, hang it up, bro. Flat screen, hang it up. Your parents are not going to accept Jenny. I get that this is, the society that he lives in. And I get that, he has to have his parents' approval to get married so that I think this is what Jenny and Binion are, wouldn't put it past them. Anyway, I think what Jenny and Summit are trying to do is get legally married in India so that I think the immigration process will be a lot easier for him, because I don't think these two intend to stay in India. I don't think so. I think they want to get married and move to the United States. That's what I think. And I think that's why Summit is so gung-ho on his parents approving this relationship, because that's the law of the land. But I don't think it's going to happen, bro. So Jenny, you're going to have to spend some time. You want to spend some time in India, because his parents are not going to let it happen. They're not. Like, as soon as he started talking to his parents about Jenny, the mom started crying. I was just like, all he said was Jenny. And she was like, it's not happening. It's not happening, Summit. Y'all going to have to find another way. Y'all going to have to find another way to get you to the United States. Your parents are not letting it happen. Your mother did all that crying, and your dad was like, the parents are not letting it happen. You just need to let it go. I will say this, right? The parents had me dying because they were like, Summit, you want to marry this woman, right? She's older than us combined, okay? What happens when we get old? She's going to be older than us. How you going to have time to take care of all of these elderly people? I was just like, oh, you know what? Y'all got to stop dragging Jenny. She gets too many strays in these conversations. Yes, she is old. And she felt some sort of way. She said, of course I'm old. Of course I'm older than them. But I'm healthy. I'm a healthy person. Jenny felt some sort of way. She did not like that comment. I'm healthy. I'm healthier than both of your parents. She felt some, and she should have, because I would have felt some way too. Your parents, oh, she's older than the both of us. She's going to get old before we get old. Who are you going to take care of? Excuse me. I may be old, but your son thinks this coochie is right and young. How dare you? I felt for Jenny too in that moment because that was wrong. She was like, oh, I'm younger than both of your parents. I love Jenny. I'm so sorry, girl. You should have felt wronged because you were. This is so in this episode, we got to see Summit fight back. I've never been on his side before. I was on his side this time because we were able to get the behind the scenes of what really happened. And listen, up until this episode, we didn't hear anything negative about the bride, about his ex-wife. So I don't know what happened, but from the parents in Summit, she seemed like an awful person because the parents were like, oh, it was a mistake. We made a mistake. We're so sorry. So I don't know if they were saying that they made a mistake in forcing him into this marriage, or if they made a mistake in approving or, forcing him to marry somebody that was just not a good person. Because the way they all reacted to spoke of her, I was like, this is the first time we've heard them say anything negative about this woman. And they were all in agreement that she was not a good fit. So Summit was doing all that screaming. I was dying, Dad, and screaming at his mom. I was just like, okay, this is a lot of aggression. And no shade. I wouldn't, and I couldn't do that to my parents, especially not my mama. You think my mama would have sat there and let me scream at her, even if she was wrong? Please. The devil is a liar. She would have pulled a gun on him. No, I'm not. Would my mom shoot me? No, she would. She would tase me though. Anyway, hey mom, if you're watching. But I got where he was coming from, and I felt really bad for him. I really, really did, because there was so much pain in his voice. I still don't think that him and Jenny are the real thing, because the way Summit was talking, right? The way he was like expressing himself and, telling his parents that he was dying and he hated being in that relationship, and the parents were taking it because they knew that they were wrong. I don't know, guys, but I felt like Summit is in this relationship with Jenny, and I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, right? But I think he's in this relationship with Jenny to humiliate his parents. I think Summit walking around with this older white woman who's older than his parents, still married to somebody else, on a national TV show showing that he loves this woman that his family does not approve of. Because the dad said, listen, this is society. You have to go by these standards. This is what you have to do. Jenny is too old. She is not fit for you. You cannot marry her. I think he is getting some kind of satisfaction out of embarrassing his parents by being with Jenny. I could be wrong, right? But I just feel like the pain that was coming out of his mouth, right? He wasn't at the point, like the way he was expressing himself, it didn't seem like he was at the point of reconciliation with his parents. I think he was just in the thick of getting his revenge. This relationship to me appears to be Summit's revenge, because it's embarrassing his parents. They're humiliated by it. if they're not, crippled in society by, this relationship, they're going to be crippled financially because they have to pay back this debt. And for somebody who was screaming to his parents, I was dying, I wanted to commit suicide. I don't think this is beneath him. Because a lot of stuff is not beneath you when you're in a rage, when you're angry, when you're pissed off. So I'm just like, there could be something there, right? I don't get it from this couple. I get that from Jenny. I don't get it from Summit. And I could be wrong, but I just feel like this relationship is Summit's revenge to his parents. That's what I think. That's what I think. He's punishing them. He's punishing them for putting them in a relationship that he did not want to be in. That's what I think. Because the parents can't get past this humiliation. The mother will never live this down in the circles that she wants to be in, ever. So that's what I think. Killing them socially and killing them financially. That's what he's doing. You know what? The parents are better than me. My parents would not be paying back my debt like that. My parents would be like, "You grown. You ain't have to walk down that aisle. I ain't got it. I ain't got it." Tim and Melyza. I'll be honest with you. I forgot about this couple. When they came up on my screen, I was like, who the hell is this? Is this a new season? Oh, they're not interesting enough for me to be involved. And I also feel like Tim and Melyza are making up. Like, I think they really have these issues, but I feel like they've moved on from these things, that they are recreating to have some kind of drama to be on this show. They're both, don't tell Melyza I said this. They're both very dull. They're very dull to watch. It's just not it's not interesting. It's not interesting. And I think the most interesting thing about this couple is the other side of Tim. Because Tim is a Jekyll and Hyde, right? We need to see the Jekyll, or is it Hyde? Whichever one. I think that will be interesting because everybody talks about this guy. Everybody says that when they met Tim, he was one person. Then he became somebody else. That's where the story is. Him cheating on Melisa, Melisa cheating on, guys, it's not interesting. We're so desensitized to cheating and adultery at this point. You got to give us something else. We want to meet the other Tim. That is what's interesting here. This storyline y'all have, boring. Boring because Melisa meets with her friends. Melisa, I have something that I have to tell him as well. I think that he's going to be very upset with me. What do you guys think? Oh, well, I may have to tell him because this is not right. Boring. But it's like no emotion is on this woman. When she's sad, when she's happy, when she's mad, the same thing. I'm so happy right now that Tim is here. I'm so sad right now that Tim is here. I want to die. I'm lying. I'm so overjoyed. Melisa, what's going on, girl? We are on TV. You gotta give us a post. Give us a post. We don't get it. This is not an interesting couple, TLC. Y'all didn't have to bring them back. Y'all didn't have to bring them back. And let's talk about this. What I think is absolutely fake. Melisa, when Tim and I were broken up, I didn't expect this though. I will say this. When Tim and I were broken up, I started to date somebody else. Okay, you were broken up. And then she says, it was just sexual. I was like, well, wait a minute. What? How you go from dating to just sex? Hold on, Melisa. What's up? Now, are we going to follow the storyline that after you found out that your man was cheating on you, you had a whole season in your hometown, you were banging the locals? Listen, ain't nothing wrong with it. Every woman, especially when a woman gets divorced, she has a huge whole season. Ain't nobody safe. The mailman, the judge presiding over the divorce, the pastor, ain't nobody safe. So ain't nobody judging. Can we follow that storyline? I want the men that you banged all in your neighborhood to show up and try to get you back. That's interesting. Let's talk about your whole season, Melisa. Let's get into it. I think I cheated on him, and I want him to know. We don't care. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. And Savelli, this is where I think we disagree, because I don't think she cheated on Tim. If you guys, like Ross said on Friends, we were on a break. If you guys were broken up, that's not cheating. You're not together. So are you still together? Like what? Something isn't right here. And I feel like even if she tells Tim that after she found out that he cheated on her, she started sleeping with somebody, she's still not wrong, in my opinion, because the relationship was broken at that point. The trust was broken. You betrayed her. Like, she can do whatever she wants at this point. If this is her way getting back at you, eat it up, bro. Eat it up and just take it, because you wouldn't be in that position if you didn't dishonor her, if you didn't break her heart, if you didn't lie to her. Melisa and her whole family were broken over this cheatation. So if she, if she jumped on something fine and brown in her neighborhood, okay, she has every right. But if, like Melisa is saying, if you guys were broken up, I don't think it's cheating. Like, if you're not together, she can have sex with whoever she wants to. Tim obviously did, even when they were together. That being said, they're still boring. I'm so sorry, Melisa. Girl power. Girl power. I love you. I want you to do well in your life. You just do not have the emotional range for television. There's nothing there. Nothing changed. Even when she was crying. Wait, do I have any tissue? I'm going to use my Kroger receipt. Kroger is the business in the South. Up north, the ghetto. If you go into a Kroger, just get shot on your own. You know what I mean? But down south, it's a nice market. Anyway, this is Melisa crying. Tim broke my heart. When I found out he was sleeping with other people, heartbroken. That's it. There's nothing there. I'm like, you two are not interesting enough for another season. And I never want to take a check out of another woman's hands. But mama, you're not giving it. You're not giving it. There's nothing there. You gotta give me more. Is it Botox? I'm not judging. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. They gotta come better next season. Listen, the storyline I want to follow is the other side of Tim and Melisa's whole season. That's what's interesting here. Did you cheat on Tim or did you not cheat on Tim? Who cares? But you know what? I just thought about it. Because she will tell him. When Melisa tells Tim, is that when the other Tim is going to surface? Timothy? Are we going to see Timothy then? That's interesting. We'll wait and see. If not, I don't want them back. I'm sorry, girl. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about with this couple. I hope we get to see Devin and Jihoon next episode, because that couple is messy. They are messy all over social media. Devin got a whole new man. Same kind of, K-pop fetish. But, she's moved on. She's moved on. Jihoon is crying, in broken English all over the internet. Baby, I want to see them next episode. I hope we get them, and not Tim and Melyza. Sorry, girl. Sorry. Just being honest. But that's all I wanted to talk about in this review concerning 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. What are your thoughts? And let's get into the tea if you have it. Let's go. She's a shell of a human. I love y'all. Thank you, Ryan Rounds. I just think that she does not know how to show emotions. And it's very weird to me, because her mother was breaking down on camera. I loved him. I thought he was a good guy, but he wasn't. The mother has so many emotions. That's why it was very odd to me that she was so emotional over Tim and Melisa wasn't. But I realized that this is just who Melisa is, just very deadpan, very Daria, very Daria. Hold on. Let me get to the comments. Hey, yeah, everybody agrees that they're super boring. Sparkle Panda, Unicorn, Purple, Snuggle, Gemini. What's up? Sparkle Panda, Unicorn Purple, Snuggle Gemini said, why can't his wife, talking about Summit, pay for the other part of the 20G though? I think it's because she doesn't want to get out of the divorce. Like she wants to be married to him. So Summit does not want to be married to her. So that's probably why he has to pay to get out of the divorce. Yeah, Takara answered that for you very well. Better than I did. Dead inside. Josie! Oh, Josie said that she feels like Melisa is doing this show as revenge to put Tim through hell. That may be it. That may be it. Yes, kiwi fruit. I already talked about Brittany and Yazan. Basically, they're a little boring too. They need to give me some more. We need to bring in the parents. But you know what? I think next episode, or maybe somewhere in this season, doesn't the dad say that he gonna kill Yazan? Millennials. Anyway, Shantino, are you talking about Melisa? Yeah, it's not cheating. I don't think it's cheating. I don't think she cheated on him. If they were broken up, you know what I mean? Like she keeps on saying, we were broken up at the time that I cheated on him. Mm-hmm. If that's the truth, then you didn't cheat. So why do you have to tell him? Unless, like Josie said, you want to humiliate him. Summit's revenge, Melisa's revenge. Yeah. Yep, that's what Josie said it again. She knows that it's not cheating, but that it will get Tim upset. Maybe that's why she wants to tell him. I think so too. I think so too. Hopefully Timothy won't show up. Baby. Yeah, Josie, she got a new man and she is happy. Or probably faking it, but you know. Oh, Whitney is in the comment section. Preach it. Come on, Whitney. Corey. Yes. Sparkle Panda Unicorn Purple Snuggle. I always want to say Snuggle. Snuggle Gemini. Does anyone remember what's her name? I forgot that girl's name. I think that's her name. From last season with Corey. Yeah, they remind me. What's her name? Evelyn. I think it's Evelyn. Evelyn and Corey. They definitely remind me of Tim and Melyza. But I think Evelyn never wanted. Is Evelyn pregnant by Corey? I think she's pregnant by. They are. Wait, did they get married as well? I think they really got married. I think they're still together. Oh no, Evelyn didn't want kids, so no. But I think they're still together. I know. I have an audition. My manager just sent me a message about my audition. I know. It's not today. Leave me alone. No, Soprano 2, I don't have that footage because I don't want no copyright strikes from YouTube. But I think I watched the show because I couldn't watch the show on TV because I got YouTube TV. But I watched the show on TLC's website. It's free. Like I didn't have to put in anything. They just let me watch it. Woo! Oh, Tiffany, I didn't know that. So Tiffany Spark says Ariella's parents own their own medical practice. See what happens when your kids don't struggle? They go to Ethiopia and have a whole season. I know she's grown, but her parents can pay their rent for a nice apartment. The benefit of having rich parents. Elizabeth has no shame. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Ariella. I think again, she's probably somebody who's really privileged, who's just, having fun. This is her I'm exploring life and exploring the world. But when it all boils down to it, I will go back to my privileged life and be okay. I'm having fun right now. Hmm. Oh, they're still together. Evelyn and Corey are still together. Do you guys think they were putting it on for the show? I don't know. Corey seemed really sprung on Evelyn. A sparkly, panda, unicorn, purple, snuggle, Gemini. I think that Jihoon is mad that Devin has moved on to somebody else, even if it appeared that he didn't want her because she took Targaryen to the United States and she's dating somebody, even though they're still technically married. So, he's embarrassed. He's embarrassed. Oh no. No. Oh goodness. I should have taped her soprano too. Oh, Leo the Lion. I never noticed that. I'll start looking for that. I'll start looking for that. Where do you think that Summit was lying? Let us just know in the comments section. I think Amber, I don't think it's that she's not really smart. I think she doesn't have street smarts. I think Ariel is very privileged, not like wealthy, but I think she's somebody who her parents never really let her feet touch the ground. So she's figuring a lot out that, people who have not who weren't born with a silver spoon in their mouth found out at the appropriate time as like teens. So she, as a grown woman in her 30s, is now figuring out things because she probably never really had to do certain things on her own. She's probably really sheltered and always taken care of and never really allowed to own a mistake. You know what I mean? So now in her 30s, she's making these decisions and she's far away from home. So now she has to live with the consequences of her decisions without her parents' intervention. So she's basically growing up before our eyes. Daphne Sylvester, are you telling the truth? Daphne Sylvester said that Evelyn and Corey have an only Corey the Mormon has an OnlyFans page. Do I want this in my search history? I don't want that in my. No, I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look it up. Daphne, where are your receipts? Because I don't want Evelyn and Corey 90 Day Fiance OnlyFans in my search history. I know you can delete that. I know you can remove all of that stuff, but Google never forgets. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Leo the Lion says Summit gets real nervous when Jenny asks him about his parents' acceptance of her. Summit's revenge. Yes, guys, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you, Jay. Yeah, I don't. Shannon the Van, I do not want that in my search history. Oh my gosh. Why is OnlyFans? You must be making a lot of money on there. A lot of money on OnlyFans. I guess it's smart to get in now before the government starts to come in. I see already that the government is starting to come in and trying to regulate that. Just like with YouTube, the good old days of YouTube, you was making money off of every and anything. And now they're just like, is this made for kids? Is this appropriate? You can't say black. Like I can't, in my videos, I can't tag anything black because I think if you put down like any race or culture in your tags, like controversial cultures in your tags, they immediately flag your video for like hate speech. So it's just like, I'm like, I'm a whole black woman and I can't even write it in my tag. So, if you're a black woman and you found me, it was by the grace of God because YouTube won't let me search you out. Wow. First of all, Kiwi Fruit, you better have an OnlyFans friend. Kiwi Fruit said, one of my friends made $2,000 in a little over a week. My mother would have a heart attack. I can't. What would I do on my OnlyFans? What would I do? Probably cook naked. Let me stop. I would never. I would probably do something with glitter. Yeah, I would probably roll around in glitter. The pervs would come out for that. The pervs would love that. What would I call myself? It would have to be something with my culture in it because people, especially with the OnlyFans, they really like that. Black glitter chick. Oh, they would eat that up. I would make. Let me stop. No, the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. And we're back. We're back. Afro glitter mama, soprano too. Shut up. Shut up. Woo! The oil. You know what, Shannon K? You're right. I fried chicken before naked. Worst mistake of my life. My whole chest. Because I was trying to be really healthy and I did it with coconut oil. Baby, I put that chicken in that pan. My chest was on fire. Just pop, 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 pop. Eyeball. I had a little piece of coconut oil on my eyeball, on my chest. Nipples almost burnt off. Never again. Never again. Why did I fry chicken naked? It was the weirdest thing. Oh, I know why. Because should I tell the story? Because I had just did a peppermint, like is it Dr. Teal's? Dr. Bronner's. I just did that whole like peppermint bath, and I had bath bombs, and I just, I treated myself to Lush, and I just had a good time. And I put on my lotion, and I just felt really good. I didn't want to put anything on. I just felt really good, and peppermint patty fresh. You know what I mean? So I just didn't want to put anything on, and I had just washed my sheets. So I was laying on my bed. I sprayed it with lavender. So I just had a moment. I was just Eve in the Garden of Eden. You know what I mean? Just loving life, loving life. And I said, you know what? Why did I fry some chicken? Worst mistake of my life. Do you know how much of an idiot I felt like when I had to call my mom and ask her what to put on third-degree burns on my nipples? She was like, what the hell are you doing? Maybe that's what I should do. I should fry chicken naked on my OnlyFans. And then watch y'all, you guys will watch me call my mom and cry about how I burnt my nipples off frying chicken. The bacon babe. I love y'all. Wear a bacon bikini and mess up my pH in my vagina. The devil is a liar. Amber, I'm going to save that for YouTube. I'm going to Ebony Glitter Babe, baby. Do you know that you can't write ebony in your like for some reason, like porn has taken over the word ebony? Because if you type it in like Google, just type ebony, anything, all kinds of stuff comes up. I learned that the hard way doing it on my work computer. And this is when I worked for a nonprofit organization. So they were like always watching people's computer. And and I wanted to learn the lyrics to Ebony and Ivory because I only sang the chorus. And I hate that. I hate when I have a song in my head and I only sing the chorus, and the parts of the song that I was singing was parts from like Eddie Murphy when he did like Ebony and Ivory. I think he did it with like Phil Hartman or something like that. And so I didn't really know the words. And I was just like, what are the words to Ebony and Ivory? Typed in Ebony and Ivory lyrics, baby. The porn that flooded that computer. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose my damn job. After that, I was on the internet on my phone. I wasn't messing around with that work computer. I won't, Daphne. I won't do it. But just so you know, don't type Ebony nothing. Nothing. No. Not especially not on a work computer. Baby. Kiwi fruit. Listen, you know what? Estime Vita 2011. I probably will start doing story times because I just realized I got a lot of stories. Kiwi fruit asks, Did you like working for a nonprofit? Those are the kind of jobs I'm looking for. In my experience, no. I felt like nonprofits were, in my experience, I'm actually on a board for a nonprofit, but it's my sister's organization, and I kind of helped like build that since I was a kid. So I have a really different experience, and so I don't call myself working for for the nonprofit. I just, I don't know, it's not work for me. If you want to know, her organization is called Girl Talk Global. But the nonprofit organization that I work for, that I was just telling you about with that story time, when I worked for that organization, it was very unorganized. It was an organization that was supposed to help young girls get out of gangs. And I felt like it was, in my experience, I felt like it was just an organization run by wealthy white women who didn't care anything about the girls. Like, we tried to get them to do so many things that were important to the girls and that would really help them, because, I come from these kind of communities, and they did not want to do anything with them but like use them at like fundraisers. So they would like get the girls, the girls that they can handle, and they would dress them up, but they would make sure that they showed like a gang tattoo or something. And they would put them in a dress to like show that they are these reformed girls, and they would like prance them around, get the money that they wanted, and then, send the girls off, with a little stipend and some food, not really investing in helping with these girls. And a lot of the nonprofit money never reached the girls. It was going to, the board members and all of that stuff. So I felt like it was very unorganized, and I felt like the people who were running it did not really have a pure heart and did not want to help the girls that we were working with. And they were also thieves. They stole their money. And that's currently why the nonprofit organization is shut down, because the IRS came in. It was just like, you did not spend this much money on pencils. You received $25,000. Why is a whole portion of it dedicated to pencils? Something ain't right. And they couldn't keep up with the paperwork, and so the organization was shut down. And those girls were left to their own devices. They're probably back out on the streets. They're probably back in gangs. It wasn't profitable, like in the right way. It was profitable for them financially, but the girls' lives were never changed. I hated it, to be quite honest with you. I met one of my really good friends working at that organization, but I just hated how the girls were treated. So I think if you find a nonprofit organization that you want to work for, I would say really research it. And not only research it, research the board, research the CFO, the CEO, all of those people. Look into them and just look at their history, look how they donate. If they're doing any kind of speech, read up on their speeches, go to reviews for, there are a lot of people who write reviews about organizations. Do that, because you will really, find the heart of the person by just doing a bit of research. And you will find that a lot of these nonprofit organizations are just money grabs for the wealthy. It really, really is money grabs and write-offs. So my experience wasn't the best. The experience with my sister's organization, I didn't work there, you know what I mean? So I wasn't getting paid to do it. It was just, this is a passion and this is something that we do. So that's a totally different experience, because I helped build it. So that's different. But working, getting paid, it wasn't the best experience for me, because I didn't even feel like the money. I hated receipt. I needed to get paid because I had to pay my bills, but I felt like the money was dirty. I didn't stay there long. I quit soon after. And I knew that I really was miserable at that job because I needed that money. Unemployment was not paying me enough, especially not in LA. So yeah, Kiwi Fruit, I would say research the board, research the heads of the organization who was running it, and also research how and where they donate. That's my advice to you. A mess, Star Lab. I wasn't, like, right after I left, they shut down. So what? Wait a minute, guys. we talked about nonprofit organizations. We got a little serious. Let's get back to the mess and the tea. Tiffany Sparks said, breaking news, Yazan has an Instagram. I'm going to see if he responds to my private DM. Baby, let's do it and report back. What's his Instagram? Donna, I'm in Midtown. Yeah, Midtown. Happy Thursday, Paula. Yes, give your girl some likes. Give your girl some likes. I got 240 people in here and 107 likes. Don't make me get Philly on you. Let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. I'm still waiting for Tiffany to give me Yazan's Instagram because I want to see it too. I want to see it too. See if Brittany is on there. Is he private, Tiffany? Oh, wait. Is this him? I found it. Yazan, 90 Day Fiance, based in Jordan, the official account. Oh, he does cameos. He over here begging for people to follow him. Wait a minute. He is really into his little celebrity from this show. He is into him so. Yeah. That dude that we saw in that show is not the same person. I will say he posts a lot about racism. He let you know, I'm in love with a black woman. There is no racism in Islam. Oh, wait a minute. Did you guys know that David and Annie have a new Facebook Watch TLC show called Spice It Up with David and Annie? It's a cooking show by David and Annie. You know what? Congratulations, but real talk, I would eat from David. Can we be real? Nothing that David makes in the kitchen is something I want to eat. Nope. No, sir. No, sir. Oh, Yazan is a little cute. He got a little ring light. All of his friends are cute, but they're very pretty. They are very pretty. All got their eyebrows snatched. Oh, these are his brothers. Can y'all see these brothers? Can y'all see these brothers? What's going on? Oh, okay, look at the. Wait, am I on the wrong part? Hold on. Damn it, Nikki! I'm trying to point to Yazan's natural curls. Oh, he's cute! I like this one, but he seems very pretty. The eyebrows and the bang is kind of throwing me off. But he cute. This is your brother. Wait a minute. Is this his real brothers? Because why are they so seductive? The parents let the brothers dress like this? Something in the water ain't clean. He's on Kimmy. Okay, so guys, his dad obviously didn't kill him. They're still on good terms because he's on his Instagram. And he posted his dad. Wait a minute. I can't translate this. Who can translate this comment? Let a sister know. Because yeah. What's going on with him and his daddy? God bless him and you. Oh my goodness. 3 comments down and people are hoeing on his dad's picture. Oh my goodness. He said, this is my father, my beloved father. He is my hero. So obviously he's not going to kill Yazan. They seem to be in a good place. No Brittany. No Brittany. No Brittany. Maybe he can't post Brittany. No, where am I at? Hold on. I'm in June 3rd. No Brittany. Yazan need to stop pressing his hair. It looks really good curly. October 18th, 2017. No Brittany. Wait a minute. Did we get an exclusive? Are they not together? They're not together. Y'all. No, you know what? Breezy Brittany, I tried to click on translate. Nothing happened. They don't have that option. What? Nyla said they fight all the time on Instagram. See, I got to get on Instagram more. I'm literally on Instagram to check your comments and to, stalk 3 guys. Just 3. No, am I stalking another one? I stopped stalking him because I think he's sick. Yeah, so I'm only stalking 2 right now. Yeah, so yeah, it seems like him and his dad are in a good place. Oh, Nyla said they are very off and on. Shamey, good for you. I've been thinking about doing it, but my manager won't let me. But it's also a way that I connect with you guys. So of course, get those likes up, guys. Those are his brothers? How was he allowing them to dress like that? You know what? Is this family playing us? Is this family playing us? Yeah, the brothers are fine. Wait, what brother was on? Oh, I do remember that other brother. He wasn't dressed like that. They weren't showing their chests and putting up their waxed eyebrows with the bang. Because you can't tell him that he's not fine, baby. David and Annie are funny together. Again, I wouldn't eat anything in David's kitchen. It's just me. I will eat from Annie, but if David is in there shaking and baking with her, that's okay. I'm okay, girl. No, I don't want none. I'm fasting. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-mm. Nope. Shamey, me either. I never expected for David and Andy to make it either. I really didn't. You know what, guys? Do I have time? Before I even say it, do I have time? Give me a thumbs up in the comment section if you would love to see a Family Chantel live review. Because I wasn't going to do them because I don't know if all of you guys are interested in that as well. I know you guys like my 90-Day Fiance lives, but I don't know if everybody's into the the Family Chantel and all them other people. Okay. You know what time is it? Do we have time? If we have time, I could probably talk about it. Lifestyle with Andy. Batch chat is tomorrow, Irene, because I'm going to need more time with batch chat. And I need to get out of here because I'm going to dinner. I didn't have a lot of time today for this one. So I actually have to wrap this up. But batch chat is probably going to be about 2.5 hours. There's so much to talk about because there's so much happening on the show. And then there's so much happening off the show. So that's going to be a long one. Okay. I'm going to find some time to do a Family Chantel sometime this week. Breezy Brittany said no. Shantina says Chantel's mom has a Facebook watch series as well, giving advice. Ma'am, what? You torture immigrants. Who is taking advice from you? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yeah, her mom is too much. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I'm late for dinner. I'm surprised my phone ain't blowing up yet. Let me off of Yazan's page because I feel like I'm gonna go to his brother's page and lose my damn mind. Ciao. Anyway, make sure you give your girl some likes with family. I gotta get out of here. Join me tomorrow for batch chat. I'm gonna see if I have time to do a Family Chantel. I'm going to see if I have some time this week. I'm not sure because I didn't prepare for it. But if I don't, I might do a live where I talk about episode 1 and 2. So that will be a long one, but I will let you guys know for sure. Thank you so much. I know this was short notice. I'm so sorry. I can't, right now, while I'm traveling, I just can't get them out like the day before like I used to because I really don't know how my day is going to go because of the time difference. I'm still working in LA. And, just trying to coordinate all of this stuff has been a lot. It's been a process. But I thank you so much for joining me at the last minute. I totally appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon, probably. I will let you know for sure. I'll put up a reminder of sometime tonight for the new season of The Bachelorette. Baby, get your snacks. Make sure you are sitting in a comfortable chair or, comfortably on your couch or bed, because we're going to be there for a minute. There's a lot to talk about with that show. All right. Love you guys. See you soon. Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. Well, am I gonna walk on the Beltline? That's where I got bit up by all those damn mosquitoes. So I don't know. I had a beautiful walk on the Beltline, but baby, when I got home, the mosquitoes tore my back up. So I don't know. Oh, am I showing? My goodness, is that Yazan's brother? Anyway, let me get out of here. I love you guys. Bye. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for I'll have better lighting next time, promise.